Good day, our friends, and welcome everyone to our weekly installment of 2024's Google for Education webinar series. I'm your friend Daryl. I'm back again. I'm Frytech's Learning Experience Designer, and I want to wish you all a happy 3.14159265359 day.
That was good, Daryl.
That was
Right?
really good.
I memorized it. Hopefully, no one's checking to make sure I got that right. It is Pie Day, March 14, 314, and it's the only day of the year where you can eat as much pie as you want. You just got to check your circumference afterwards. I'm a dad of a 3-year-old, so these jokes are natural, right? And you're all probably wondering, what are these people going to be covering today? Or maybe you're not wondering because it's on the screen. We are supercharging Google Classroom, leveraging AI and other new classroom features, part 2. That's right, it's part 2. Part 1 was covered 2 weeks ago. And if you missed the recording, don't worry. It's on demand somewhere. I'm sure you received a link in your email about these. And like pie, I can go on and on and on and on and on and on. But I'm going to stop there and let my friends introduce themselves.
Okay, I'm Lori Roberts, and I'm a lead learning guide with Fried Tech. I am excited to be here with y'all today to learn and share with all of you about classroom features of AI.
Woohoo!
Hi, I'm Amy Storr. I'm also a lead learning guide at Fried Tech and also equally as excited to share my favorite thing, which is practice sets.
That's right. That's our favorite word here at Fried. Excited. Excited and delighted also because it's Pi Day. And we know you'll want to access the slides from today's webinar as well. Hey, don't fret because right there, hey, it flashed on the screen. fried.tech/3-14-24 helps if you put in a song. You'll remember it that way, but it's on every slide, so you don't have to remember it. And we also want to let you know that this broadcast today is being shared and recorded today in English, but a Spanish version will be provided for our friends in Spanish-speaking places. And here I am driving to the next slide. Here it is. What are we going to be covering today? Well, first on the agenda, we've got the App Hub and add-ons. And then next we have Amy Storr, our resident practice set expert, who will be showcasing practice sets and showing us some new features as well. And then all our data fanatics, data, still don't know. Potato, GIF. We're going to be talking about analytics and insights. Lori will be introducing, giving us a deep dive into those two features. And we have other classroom features that didn't really have a category, so we threw them at the end, but they are also worth all the attention because they're great features. And hopefully we'll have time at the end, which I think we will because we're good like that. 30 minutes. We got 30 minutes. Here we go. Hey, Amy, Lori, did you know that 3.14% of sailors are pirates? 3.14.
Dad joke number 2.
Well, there you go.
Good job.
Okay, back to what we're here for. Disjointed tools take time away from teaching and learning, and there is a number there, quite a specific number. On average, educators use 148 plus different digital tools in a given school year. 148. Let's name 148 right now. I'll start.
That's a lot. I don't think I could do it.
I don't think so either, but that's a lot. And if you don't believe me, there's the source there. And we know we are, like, as educators, we are the master app smashers. And we haven't used that term in a long time. That was a buzzword a long time ago, but we are. And we know how to jump between communication tools, our learning management system, and engagement tools. And we know when those tools don't work together, we, the educators, have to be the glue to connect them. And we spend a lot of time being that glue, and all that time spent connecting the dots means less time for those human connections that matter. But we know, of course, Google's all about the user experience and making our lives easier. So our daily lives work seamlessly with these digital tools. And Lori, I believe you're going to tell us how they do just that.
I am. And if you're interested in knowing which of those 148 tech tools connect with Google, last June, the Google for Education App Hub was announced. And on the App Hub website, which is linked at the bottom of this slide, educators and admins can discover every app that connects with Google for Education products all in one place. These apps integrate with add-ons, student information sync, and app licensing. The App Hub is now launching in 10 additional languages, and educators and admins will be able to find apps that work in many other countries beyond the US. The App Hub showcases apps that integrate with Google for Education to help seamlessly integrate teaching tools into assignments, streamline class and grade management, and it makes purchasing, provisioning, and managing apps easy as pie.
I
I
believe
got one in there.
that's pun number 3. We're going to have 20 by the end of this session. Keep counting, y'all. Keep
Yeah.
counting.
And then just in time for back to school in 2024, Google Classroom is going to have 10 new classroom add-on partners, including Kami, Quizzes, Flip, and many more. It's exciting to see these top EdTech tools added to the growing list of add-on partners, which allows educators to easily find, add, and use and also grade content from those tools directly within Classroom. So it's going to help teachers, but it also allows students to easily access content, avoiding the need to remember a million different passwords and have to navigate to a million different external websites.
Thank goodness. And we know that the pain going behind students forgetting their password, it's like 20 minutes of your class time right there.
Gone. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. So, and I see a lot of my favorites there. We've increased our number from 148 to 158.
There you go.
Very
Yeah.
good.
Or 3.14.
Oh,
Yeah.
3.14. Well, multiplied by pi.
Yeah.
Oh, it's my turn. All
It's
right.
your
I love
turn.
practice sets. Like I said earlier, if you know me, you know how much I love them. And they keep getting better and better. So if you're not familiar with practice sets yet, this is a tool in Google Classroom that uses AI to make it much easier for you to provide in-the-moment support for your students exactly when they need it. It saves a ton of time by suggesting helpful resources that will appear for students when they need it as well. That way you don't have to spend lots of hours and time sourcing that content. It also supports their personal learning needs by showing that content whenever they ask for help. Daryl, let's quickly review how to create and add resources.
Let's
in a
do
practice
it.
set.
Make sure I click the right buttons. There you go.
All right, so we're in Classroom, and Daryl, I'm going to get you to go to the resources button on the left-hand
Okay.
side. I love this area. It organizes your practice sets and your interactive YouTube videos here, and it's also where you can create from. And so we're going to create our practice set here. If this dialog box pops up, you can run through. It's going to just show you around, if you will, a field trip of the new resources tab. We'll talk about this, the Google Forms new feature in just a bit, but let's create a practice set. So we're going to click on new practice set.
Okay.
And let's give it a title first. We're going to call it Math Review.
Math review.
And he's going to type it there, and you'll notice when he clicks in the top left-hand corner where it says Untitled, it's going to populate there as well. Very similar to Forms. And before we start to create, let's go to our settings first, Daryl.
Sure
And
thing.
these are preferences based on what you are creating for students. Since this is a math review, we're going to check the box that says Allow Equivalent Answers. And we're going to keep the Ignore Capitalization box checked as well. So these are just preferences for you. I like to start there before I actually put questions in. So our first question is going to be use estimation to solve 73 plus 12. Perfect. Right to right. On the right-hand side of that question, you're going to see a pull-down menu where it says short answer. And so you've got 4 different question types you can choose from. You'll notice that 3 of them have the word auto next to it. That's because they are auto graded. We're going to stick with short answer, but just know that you have other options to choose from as well. And Daryl, go ahead and put our answer in. What's the answer to this?
Oh gosh,
question?
mental math. The answer is 85.
You are incorrect.
Wow.
Did you miss the word that said estimation?
We didn't read that question close enough. Yeah.
Too fast.
Estimation. Whatever that means. Okay.
There you go.
So the correct answer is 148.
Try again.
Okay, I'm going to go with 80.
It is 80. Good. And you can put in multiple answers here. So we could type out using letters the word 80 as well. That way, if your students do numerical or the word, they would get it correct.
I
Now,
did spell
once
that right though, right? That's
you did. You did a great
correction.
job. Yeah. Once you put in the question and get your answers there, you'll notice right below there, you'll see suggested. And so this is that AI coming into play. And so when you click that, it knows because you typed in estimation that we're looking for some resources that relate to estimate using rounding. And so we've grabbed some resources from that. You can see there's an explainer that's been attached and a video. And Daryl can even continue to search for more if he would like. He could type in rounding, he could type an estimate and see if there's others that could also provide resources as well. But even better, not only does Google provide you with some really great resources, you as a teacher can also add in your own as well. So when you expand that resources tray, you're going to see the 2 that Google has provided to you. And then there is a plus sign on the left-hand side that you can click as a teacher, and you can add in your own hints, and you can add in your own YouTube videos. So it allows you to add in videos of your preference. So if we click on YouTube, Daryl, we can go there. And I know a video that I love to use with my students is Math Antics Rounding. I've watched it. I know it's great. It's going to be that first one there. Once you click it, you're going to click insert or add video. You can play it here, of course, if you wanted to, as well as the other videos that are attached. You can watch them as well. So click that, and there we have additional resources. Daryl can also reorder those cards as needed, and that's going to come into play. And we were trying to think of a name earlier. Fried tech. Everything's better fried. And so we call the waffle, etc. We're going to call those 6 dot the muffin pan. So you're going to reorder those by clicking and dragging the muffin pan. And that's going to be the order in which they present themselves to the students. Also, you'll notice top right-hand corner, you'll see an extra help button. You can add even more resources here, up to 10.
Up to 10.
Also, up to 10, yeah. And also reorder those as well. So your students have access to that button when they are also exploring a practice set too. Perfect. And then you can continue to add as you go. We won't add any more additional questions because of time, but I will remind you that when you are ready to add more questions, you just scroll down. You can add a new question from scratch, which is what we just did. You can add a text box, which could be words of encouragement, additional instructions, and you can also import. And import a PDF has been around for a bit. I love it, but now you can also import from Google Forms and quizzes. So even more at your fingertips to add in and more ways to save time as a teacher. As you're building and creating, I do encourage you to try as a student as you go, just to make sure everything is working the way that you would like it to work. And so we'll do this real quickly. Yeah, you can click the X there. So go ahead and solve it, Daryl, but do me a favor and put in the first answer you thought it was.
Oh yes, 85, which is the correct answer, by the way.
Students have access to a notepad, a digital notepad, a virtual notepad, if you will, to also show work. But it says try again. And when that happens, the students are going to see that light bulb illuminate. And that means they can click it and get on-time feedback for them to, kind of go through some notes, maybe watch a video. You can also move it around, but this will help them to then go back and re-answer that question. They also have that extra help button at the top as well. But Daryl, go ahead and solve that correctly.
And Amy, isn't the order that those resources come in, those are that reorder that we just did, right?
Let's
yeah,
see.
they come in that order. Yeah. So if he answered it incorrectly a second time and clicked that light bulb, it would be the second resource there. So you can put them in order of, I don't know, importance or what you want to come first, etc. I love the capability of
and I can move it around. Oh,
which is nice. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Perfect. Okay. Go ahead and answer that correctly. And because we have one question, once he gets this correct, you're going to get confetti, which is to celebrate the student and all of their work, as well as a gift for GIF to also celebrate them as well. I just love it. I just love practice sets so much. Once you have them created, you can then attach them in a Google Classroom assignment, as long as you have access to practice sets in Classroom.
Love it. Such a charming tool.
It is.
With the confetti you don't have to pick up afterwards.
Right.
They're celebrating Pi Day too, so that's great. Thank you for sharing. I'm going to go back to the presentation.
Yep, and this next slide is just a reminder that you as a teacher can add your resources in practice sets as well.
Yeah. If you're wondering what the HI stands for, that's human intelligence in conjunction with artificial intelligence, because with this new feature, as a teacher, you can provide added resources on your own without having to rely too much on artificial intelligence. Love it. Or it's Alaska and Hawaii. What did we say earlier? It's AI
It's
plus HI equals
AI and high.
equals pi.
equals
Pie.
pi. Ah. All right, Lori, it's your time to shine.
Okay, now we called Amy earlier today the practice sets princess, and I'm going to call myself the data duchess. So we've got some
Love it.
Ooh,
royalty with
okay.
you
Love it.
today, right?
Love it.
So
Ah.
there we go. So personalization is key, and we all know that. So with in order to personalize, what we need to do is we have to understand the learning and progress for each of our students. And earlier this year, Classroom Analytics was launched globally as part of the Education Plus subscription. So, this is a tool for all leaders, teachers, and specialists in your school to get direct visibility in how your students are engaging in Google Classroom. There's two different views, the education leader viewer and the educator viewer. So if we're going to view this as an educator leader, excuse me, Daryl, let's jump on in because
Okie
this is going to
dokie.
give us a bird's eye view across all of our insights for the entire school or district. So over on the left hand side, you'll see home, and directly underneath that, you've got that analytics option. That analytics option is only going to appear for those people that have been designated within your domain panel. So analytics will not show up there for everyone. But what will show for teachers is on the individual cards, you'll see the little analytics icon on the card, and you'll also see it once you go into a class as well. All the data
Gotcha.
that we're about to look at looks the same in both of these views, whether you're an education leader or an educator looking at your own class. It's just a matter of what data is actually going to show up. So let's go ahead and click on that classroom analytics. And as an educational leader, maybe I'm an instructional leader at my school district, I can now see which students are struggling to complete their assignments all in one place utilizing this tool. So over on the left right hand side, I'm getting my left and rights mixed up today, but top right hand corner over there, you're going to have a option where you can see when the last data update happened, and data updates take about 24 hours to update. And then directly below that, you have a date range selector where you can select the range that you see there. And then directly below that, you have the top analytics that you can see all of those different data points for that selected period. So that first data point, these are just 3 different tabs. The first one is the assignment completion, and this is the percentage of all turned in assignments that are currently due across classrooms.
Mhm.
That middle tab is your average grade, and this is the average grade of all graded assignments that are due. So non-graded assignments will not be included in this metric. And then the far right-hand side tab is your active student percentage. So this shows the percentage of all students in classes who interact within Classroom. And your different interaction points include page views, assignment submissions, if students leave comments, or if they post on anything within the classroom. And with each of those, if we scroll down, we've got that nice little data point up there at the top, but then we can also view and filter by different options. Actually, scroll back up to the top because I
Okay.
forgot to bring us back to assignment completion.
Gotcha.
That way we'll see all 3 filters. So scroll back down for me. And the first data point that we can filter on, we can filter by class. So let's go ahead and pick one of those classes. I'll let you choose which of those
Oh
Hogwarts
my gosh,
classes.
there's so
I
many.
know there's a lot in
Oh
there.
wow.
I
I want to
wish
go.
we
I
had
want to
these
go to
studies.
Hogwarts.
I know, I wish I
Let's
could
go
teach
to
these classes.
Xylomancy. Is that where
Of
we
course,
learn
you
how
would
to
pick one
play
that
the
I
xylophone?
have no idea how to pronounce that right. I'm gonna guess that this has something to do with, like, horticulture because Professor Sprout, those of you that
Ah,
don't know,
very
she
nice.
was the, botany plant teacher, right? So within here, we can, compare data for all of the students within this class. So we can see George Weasley is completing many of his assignments. Gregory Goyle, we might need to have a call
Mm,
home,
mm, mm, mm,
right? He has
mhm.
nothing completed. We can also see the average grade for each of our students, missing assignments, all of that great information there as well. And if you have access to this specific class as an instructional leader, over there on the left-hand side, there is a little icon that looks like a clipboard, and we would be able to click on that clipboard and it would show us the missing assignments, turned in assignments, and returned assignments for that specific class. So if you're the teacher, you'll be able to see that data like you always have as well.
65%. We need to reteach some of these
We
kiddos.
do. We do. Let's
Can't even pronounce the name of the course. Xylomancy.
Xylomancy, maybe. We've got Harry Potter fans probably going crazy on us right now.
Probably.
And I'm a Harry Potter fan. I still don't know how to pronounce that word. So let's pop back to that main screen. Another way we can view is by specific student. So I can click on the student option, and then maybe I need to go and check on Mr. Ron Weasley in there and check on how he's doing.
Come on, Ron. Make me proud.
Yep, throughout all of his classes. He's got
Oh,
lots
Ron.
of assignments completed, but Ron's not doing so well, right? He probably needs to go to some tutorials, maybe have Hermione give him
that's why he's taking ancient studies 3 times a day. An apparition.
Yeah, poor guy.
Poor guy.
So we've got all that information
Extra
there.
help.
Again, that clipboard is over on the side. So if we needed to drill down into these classes, as long as we have access to them, we'll be able to drill down. And then the last filter that we can do is filter on organizational unit. So this is going to show you data across your schools or grades. It all depends on how your domain is set up. So Hogwarts is set up where we have an organizational unit called students. And within that organizational unit of students, if we open that up, it's then broken down by middle school, high school. And then within that, if we click on one of those options, we'll see it then filters out by grade level. So depending on how your district domain is set up, in my old district, this was set out as campuses, and then within campuses, we then had grade levels set up. So you can really look at data across your entire district, depending on how big your district is. A few couple of notes about the data within this classroom analytics page. It only reflects the activity within Google Classroom. So your staff must enter those grades into Classroom. If they don't enter the grades in Classroom, then you're not going to be able to see anything. It's not going to look at data stored outside in your student information system. Also, all of the data is on classes that have been created or updated within the last 365 days, so the last year. And then it does not include data on archived classes. So once a teacher archives the classes, you're not going to be able to see that data anymore on the screen. Nice, right?
Thank
and
you,
within our presentation deck, we have some nice animated GIFs for you.
Team GIF all the way, y'all.
I'm a GIF girl, right? Because why? Because we give it as a gift, just like we give the pie as a gift to those around us.
How do you go against that? It is a gift.
I know, it's
good. It can be a gift as well.
I guess
it doesn't really work. But
right, yeah.
Hey, we have a question. We have our first question, and the question is from
our friend Kim. Yeah, since I think we're about to jump into insights after this, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So let's go back into practice sets.
Okay.
Yep, let's go there, and let's just open up our math review one that we just created. There you go. And you'll see a share button in the top right-hand corner. And when you click that, you have to turn that button on, and you'll need to make sure that you share it with verified teachers within your Google Workspace. What I would do is when you go there, if you want more information to share with possibly your IT or Google admin, that Learn More button that you see there in that box is a great place to start. The question was, can practice sets be created? Sorry about that. We just thought you could.
They can't see our private chat.
No, they can't. No. They could. Kim's question was, can practice sets be created and shared out from the district level? Thank you for your question, Kim. And so we opened up a practice set. Click that share button. Turn the link sharing button on. And then you can copy that link, but do make sure that you share it with teachers that are verified teachers. And you can learn more about what that means if you click on Learn More.
Okay. Thank you so much, Amy.
That's nice.
Mm-hmm.
You are the experts of practice sets.
And while we're in there on practice sets.
Okay, we've got insights, right?
We can talk about those insights.
Yeah, I do love insights. Yep. Go ahead, Lori.
We got data in both places. So you can
Mhm.
also look at those insights on where students need support within your practice sets as well at the class level and at the student level. So instead of spending your energy trying to pull all of that information manually, you can focus your instruction on key areas of struggle.
Yeah, and so we've heard from you that you want more ways to create formative assessments. We talked about that new feature of being able to import from Google Forms and quizzes earlier, but Google is also continuing to explore how to use practice sets, especially the automated insights, to create an even more powerful assessment tool. So let's take a look at what that means.
So
Okay.
Daryl, hop back over to that practice class
Thank you.
and open up the math. Yep, open up that class. And then let's go to classwork. I think you can get to it from both places. So then we can go down to that math assignment number 1. I'm showing
Mhm.
you the different way.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with this way. So okay,
Click on that math
come on.
assignment number 1. He wants to go up to
Like
the grade book.
you're like Google Maps for me,
I
or you're
know, it's been a long
navigating.
way.
I'm just
It's been a long
driving.
way.
Okay, go the long way.
Scroll back
Avoid the
down.
tolls.
Scroll down, scroll down, scroll down, scroll down, scroll
Okay.
down. And then you can click on that practice set from there and see there's a review work over on the right-hand side,
Okay.
and that assignment will be there. Oh, pop back
Oh, sorry.
over.
I clicked
No,
the
you're
wrong
okay. You're okay.
button. Telling me to go different places. Like, oh my gosh, where am I going? Okay, back here. Review work.
Review work.
Reverb, yeah.
There it
Yeah.
is.
And that brings you to the same place that if you were to go into your grade book, you can also get it that way as well.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
Oh,
you
there
can.
it
Yeah.
is.
2 ways.
Yeah. If you go through your grade book, you'll see a button that says Class Insights. And when you click it, it's going to take you here. You'll be dropped here on this dashboard. And what this gives you is it really offers some key insights into class strengths and areas where additional support might be needed. You can tell which students are persevering, which students are getting them incorrect, even multiple times. You can even click on individual students to dig a little bit deeper into how they did within this practice set. You can even, as a teacher, take a glance at those questions and see, okay, question 2, maybe this is a
Mhm.
question. Although when I saw it yesterday, they did get it correct. They,
Yeah, it's a question problem.
it's
See,
a question,
who else?
right?
Yeah.
So you can come in as a teacher and you can then regrade if needed, update that grade. You can click into questions for students, like I said, to take a deeper dive into how they did. You can view answer attempts, so you can uncover patterns and common areas of confusion across student work. And you can also view all students' answers to a single question by clicking on the number on that panel as well. So much really great data that you can use to make instructional moves in your classroom as a teacher.
Very cool. All powered by AI. Those insights right there, saving us time. Okay. Okay, it's my turn. Here we go. So, coming soon, there's a feature if you have a Chromebook, and it's all built in within Chrome OS to streamline workflows with classroom due dates and assignment reminders. So, when your students log into their Chromebook, right there built in within the interface of your Chromebook, they will have updates of any assignments that are due. It's also connected to Google Calendars. And if they're using Google Tasks, all that information handy dandy in that panel right there. And for teachers, they can also take advantage of it with tasks and calendars. So, again, it's all about the user experience, and Google is trying to help make things easy for us. Thank you, Google. Thank you, Google.
And making sure those kids don't forget about those assignments, right? Having it right there.
Absolutely. They can't get enough reminders, right? So, hey. And so another feature, it's not new, but it's been around for almost a year, but it's a very handy dandy feature. And again, like whenever we were looking analytics, depending if you're the admin, you can see a lot of your teachers and their classes. Having this power as an administrator, a principal, or if you're a department lead and you want to visit another teacher's class, you have that power here. Because remember, before then, you'd have to find a way to add that department head into every single science class so they have access, so they can help the co-teacher out. Hey, but no worries, you don't need to do that now. So your Google admin sets this up for you, and if you have the power, then you can visit other teachers' classrooms. Pretty much do whatever a co-teacher does. You can't delete their class or remove the primary teacher, but you can do a lot of things there. Okay. Ooh, it's 12:29. We're having so much fun. Okay, I just want to remind you all, we talked about in the part 1 Google Classroom session, But if you are interested, in that session, we talked about generating lesson plans on the fly using AI. But if you're interested, if your Google admin needs to apply for this, there's a AI track of the Google for Education pilot program. Feel free to give it a go. And if selected, you will have access to these AI features and you can provide Google feedback. And they always are appreciative of our feedback and they always do listen. Okay. And just a teaser for the next 2 sessions. Next week, we're going to talk about content creation power up from screencast to AI feedback in 30 minutes. And then on the 28th, we'll be finding ways to streamline our workflow. And I got to end with another pie pun. And I'm going to forget it. It's like why is pie such a bad driver?
Because it doesn't know when to stop.
But it doesn't know when to stop. Unlike Fried Tech, we know when to stop. So this is the end of our session. Thank you all for being here. We will see you, or we can't really see you, but we'll know your presence is there next week. We appreciate you all. Have a great day.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.